We're back once again with another episode of Jags and Jack. Man, it's good to be back in the studio with my best friend, Cade Stevens. My name is Eric Benson. Good to see you guys again. Sorry it's been so long, but hey, we are back, and we're back with a Week 1 review of the Kansas City Chiefs game taking on our Jacksonville Jaguars.
Boy, there's a lot to talk about.
Lots to talk about.
Lots to unpack.
Full suitcase.
We got the injury to Nick Foles. We have Gardner Minshew's stellar performance. We have
Uncle Rico.
We have the defense playing like trash.
God, they're terrible.
I don't know if I can say as a whole, but I can say that the secondary, not so much. Very good. Which is an unusual thing to say. If you've been a Jags fan the last 2 years at all, you'll understand that our defense has been the strong point. Not in this situation, clearly.
And if you're a newcomer, we're sorry. But hey, welcome in. We've got
Sorry
jackets.
about it. Yeah, if you're coming from Philadelphia because you love Nick Foles, then I'm also sorry to hear that. Yeah, we got some things to talk about here.
Lots of things to talk about.
But I'm glad to be here. So, Eric, tell these fine folks here, if you will be so kind, about the Jack Honey debut.
Yes!
On
Woo!
Jags
It's
and
making
Jack.
its debut.
We've
got our
Damn,
lovely.
I'm already half an hour. What's wrong with me?
Dude, you've been sipping a little strong today, man.
Excuse me.
Shoot, no need to apologize, man. I need to catch up. No, and our lovely plastic solo cups here. This was Cade's own little recipe that he kind of created, and as he mentioned, the debut of Jack Honey on our program. Normally, we don't really incorporate it a ton because it's just so sweet. It's a liqueur. It's not really true Jack Daniels.
It is, and there's not a lot you can do with it outside of mixing it with some things. But if you're not a big sweet person, which neither of us are, if you drink any sort of bourbon or whiskey straight, most of the time you're not a very big sweet person.
Mm-hmm.
And
at least when it comes to booze. Me, on the other, I mean, I love ice cream and sweets.
Well,
and all
yeah,
that
that's a
jazz,
whole
so.
nother story. A quick sidebar that has nothing to, well, sort of. It has something to do with this. Nothing to do with the Jags, though, is what actually got me into Jack to begin with was Jack Honey, and I'll throw a little shout-out to Adam Gilbert.
Good old
who
Adam.
Had a
the
bottle
bearded
of,
wonder.
Yeah, the bearded dude. This guy's got an outrageous beard. But on my 21st birthday, had a bottle of Jack Honey that he kept in the freezer, and let me sip on it. And I'm like, man, this is good, man. And that was back when I could still mix it with Coke and didn't go into a diabetic shock. And it was pretty good. But anyways, the intro of Jack Honey on the show, and cheers to Week 1. Cheers to football being back. It's not going to be all doom and gloom here. We have already had the conversation prior to the show and all throughout the last couple of days since the game has been played. It's still Week 1. There's still reason for optimism.
Half the teams are going to go 0-1 in the league. Half of them are. We're just part of the half that went 0-1. It happens.
It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that it happened. We also went 3-1 last year and then shit the bed and finished 5-11. So, you know, it's a matter of perspective. I think that if you told me that Week 2 Gardner Minshew was going to be starting for at least 10 weeks in a row because Foles got hurt, after the way he played in the preseason, I would have asked. I don't know.
I'd be hiding. This would be me. You would see me looking like this. It would be very, very sad.
He would. We'd be both probably in a really bad way. But the guy came into Week 1, and I don't think this should be overshadowed by the play that wasn't good by certain position groups, both on offense and offense. For once, was the strong point.
They were the strong point. They were the shining light.
They were, and I don't think his performance should be overshadowed by the fact that the defense didn't play well. But he stepped in, and outside of what Brad Johnson, they said in 1991, had a debut
the year of World War
his
91. Hey, good birth year.
Hey,
happy birthday, Ryan.
Hey. Yeah, outside of Brad Johnson in 1991, started with his first 12 passes completed. It was 12 or 13. It was one of the two. Yeah. And finished with an 88% completion percentage, threw for 2 touchdowns, 1 interception that hit Leonard Fournette right in the face, which I know it had a little mustard on it, but you got to take care of your quarterback in that situation and make that catch.
We'll get to that, though, because there's definitely been some talk about that on the local Jaguars sports radio station, 1010 XL, 92.5 FM.
There's been some disdain for, which, I understand.
I got to dial it back.
I get it. I think that there's something to be proud of in the fact that he actually ran pretty effectively. 5.1 yards a carry, which compared to his league average last year was absolute trash. 3.9, I think, is what he finished with last season. Anything under 4.2, I think, as a starting tailback in the NFL.
Not very great.
I got off on a little bit of an overview tangent, I guess, on what we're going to talk about.
That's okay. We're going to get into all this good stuff. But, hey,
back.
Let them know what's in this thing. We got 3 key ingredients.
We have splash lemon juice.
Ooh.
We got some Jack honey. Measure it to your heart's content. And we have some unsweet tea. This is Publix brand. You can make it however you want to make it.
Honestly, Publix sweet tea is pretty legit.
Unsweet. The sweet tea
unsweet for this.
The sweet tea is
unsweet
good.
For this, yes.
But in this instance, as we spoke, Jack honey, very sweet. Unsweet tea recommended in this situation. And a cheers to you, big dog.
Cheers, man.
Week
Happy
1
football.
review. Happy football. If anything else,
Man, that's good. That is
It
good.
is quite tasty. So I think we should talk about the most obvious elephant in the room to begin with.
Yes.
And that's the injury to Nick Foles, broken left clavicle, his collarbone. He did have surgery on Monday. Everything went well. He's been placed on injured reserve. He has already stated that he will continue to support Gardner Minshew throughout the season until he's activated and brought back. Earliest he's expected to be brought back, at least because he was placed on IR this week, is week 10. We are on the bye that week, so most likely he will be back for week 11. Definitely a blow, man.
Yeah. No, that's anytime that you go out and you spend big money on a free agent, it doesn't matter who it is, but especially at the quarterback position. And he goes down, second, third drive?
I think he played 11 snaps total.
11 snaps total,
It was in the first quarter.
Yeah. I mean, anytime something like that happens, it feels like it's a blow. And it truly is. Because now we have to rely on a 6th-round rookie. And don't get me wrong, Gardner Minshew, very intelligent guy, scored a 42 on the Wonderlic, I heard.
42 out of 50.
42 out of 50,
which is
which
outstanding.
It's pretty impressive. The guy obviously can play, which, like Cade mentioned, we had a little bit of a question mark coming out of the preseason. Like,
Absolutely.
oh man,
absolutely. After the preseason,
is this guy going to show, or what are we
are
going
they
to do
going to
here?
roll with him? They're going to sign a veteran. You know what's going to happen.
Yeah. So, which we'll talk about who they did acquire here coming up in a little bit as well. But yeah, anytime something like that happens, it's going to be a blow for your team. The fact that he's already kind of come out and said, hey, I'm going to be there. I'm going to be in the quarterback meeting room. I'm going to be in that room to mentor Gardner Minshew and the other guys that are in that quarterback room. That's 100% great. Like you always want to hear that from your leader.
It's phenomenal. And a sidebar, I'm not sure if you saw this either. He asked to come back out on the field so that he could help Gardner Minshew through the second half of the football game after he got hurt and went in for X-ray, and they figured out exactly what was going on.
Yeah, no, which is also I did not hear that, so that's
absolutely amazing.
That's even better. So, hey, hats off to Nick Foles for being the consummate professional. Hats off to him for basically giving us a Thanos situation where you threw a touchdown pass.
Beautiful pass, by the way. A
with
beautiful
the Jacksonville
pass.
Jaguars. What did it cost?
Everything. Yeah.
So,
literally.
It's tough to digest because there's so much unknown, especially with the way that the game progressed. Not necessarily on the offensive side of the ball, but on the defensive side of the ball, which is supposed to be the strong suit, supposed to be the shining lights through all of this darkness, but not so much. No. So it's definitely a blow, and he will definitely be missed. But the way that Gardner Minshew played, A+ for him. Coming off the bench in a very intimidating situation like that, able to shine and complete over 80% of his passes, 2 touchdowns, almost 300 yards passing, very efficient day. Hats off to him.
Absolutely outstanding, man. Honestly, he's pretty much the lone guy that I don't know. I'm just really impressed because after watching the preseason going into the regular season, the way that he had played. And the way they did not produce points nor move the football.
I was about to say they did not move the football really at all, which was kind of a head scratcher.
It was. And listen, we talked about it before. part of it. I don't think our depth is very good. I think we have some really, really solid frontline guys, but offensive and defensively. But I think if we suffer a rash of injuries, kind of like we did last year, especially on the offensive line, I think we're in a lot of trouble. And he didn't really have an opportunity at all to work with the ones during the preseason or during training camp. And given the opportunity, he showed what he could do. Chris Conley, in an interview this week after the game, said one of his favorite things about Gardner Minshew was his lack of fear, which can both be good and bad. I want to point out, it ended up being a really big play, but I think personally it could have been a touchdown. And this is something that you're going to see this guy overcome as we move into it. And I think Leonard Fournette becomes more important than he's ever become before. The running game is going to be more important than it's ever become before because we need to get him comfortable and we need to make sure that he trusts himself, trusts the receivers. So the long throw that he had to DJ Chark that ended up not being a touchdown, but he hit him deep. On the replay, when you see it, he goes back and he acts like he's going to throw it, and then he doesn't trust himself and comes back, and then he finally does decide that that's what he's going to make that throw. But by the time he decides he's going to make it, I mean, it's a hell of a throw. He's been knocked for arm strength, but I think that proved that he's got some. And if he doesn't hesitate the first time around and trust himself, which he's going to do, I really think that he's going to do, I think that ball ends up being a touchdown because I think he hits him in stride heading down towards the end zone. But he hit him, had to have him come back towards the inside just a little bit. And DJ, man, come on, man, break somebody's ankles. Let's go. Get that ball in the end zone.
And on that note, though, like I just want to say, hey, hats off to the wide receivers. Because we had so many questions coming into this game. That and the linebackers.
Wide receiver play.
Absolutely, 100%. D.D. Westbrook, fantastic. DJ Chark was one of the best performers in week one in the whole league. 4 catches, 146 yards, and that 69-yard touchdown. Shoot, I mean, what more can you say? D.D. Westbrook had 30 yards. Chris Conley did everything that we expected him to do.
Just shy of 100.
Yeah, exactly.
Career high for him against his former team.
Dude, I can't remember the last time that we had 2 wide receivers that were close to 100 yards.
Allen Robinson and Allen Hurns. I think it was 2015 or 16.
Honestly, I was going to point at these guys and be like, hey,
it
might be
that's a
at
consistent
that point.
basis. That was a consistent basis right there. Agreed. Robinson and Hurns, I think that year, it was Bortles' second year where the offense was pretty high-flying and the defense was garbage. That they consistently were not. They had them both over 1,000 yards for the year that year.
Yeah.
But that was the last time.
Yeah.
And these guys, Eric's absolutely right. Wide receiver room, not as much flash out of Dede as I think that was expected. That could have possibly been different if Foles stays in the game. Foles' guy throughout all of camp in the preseason was D.D. Westbrook.
Yes, 100%.
Gardner came in, and he had an immediate rapport with DJ Chark, and he had an immediate rapport with Chris Conley, and, man, they put them together. He did, in fact, hit D.D. Westbrook on a touchdown pass that was quite nice, extending the play. The broadcaster, actually going back and watching the broadcast a little bit this morning, was talking about he has a little bit of Mahomes in him, and, God, we can only hope.
No kidding, right?
And you know what's actually really funny is Twitter, Irish Jaguar, Stevie, said, and it would be funny, okay? I'm not saying this is what's going to happen. But he said the most because Jaguars thing that would ever happen is you actually do find your quarterback of the future, and it's not the guy you're paying $22 million a year.
Right. Because, first of all, and I'm glad you pointed that out, because I'm going to go on a little bit of a rant. So let's go ahead and just let's brace. Come into my TED Talk here.
Welcome to my TED Talk.
Welcome to my TED Talk.
My name's Eric Vincent.
My name is Eric Vincent. Welcome to Jags and Jack. We're going to talk about the Jaguars quarterback situation here. So, while I understand that Jaguars are going to Jaguar, and that we've had plenty of opportunities to find quarterbacks of the future within these past few draft classes, hindsight is always, man.
2020. Yep, agreed.
So the fact that y'all can come in here now and say, oh, no, we could have drafted Lamar Jackson at the end of the first round instead we wasted it on Taven Bryan, which, by the way, Taven Bryan is a flaming piece of dog crap. As far as a player goes, a human being, I don't know the guy's a human being. But
he did, in all fairness, did have one of the few quarterback hits in the game this week.
Garbage.
Yeah.
He's garbage.
It's a lot to be proven. Still.
Not worth the first-round pick in any way, shape, or form.
I wanted Will Hernandez. I said that 100 times over.
Yes.
But
anyway, I digress.
Yes.
Could have taken Lamar Jackson in that draft. Could have maybe found Patrick Mahomes.
And before y'all get crazy on Lamar Jackson, sidebar, they also played the Dolphins this week, so settle down.
Right.
Anyways,
so let's dial that back a little bit. Yeah, you can look like Tommy, a great quarterback and sit back and play against the Dolphins defense, who, oh, by the way, have literally nobody left there. Xavier Howard is the only guy that's worth a damn on that defense, honestly.
Yeah.
And he plays one side of the corner. So that leaves everywhere else, literally, that you can throw the football or run the football. So, sorry, guys. But,
Tommy.
Yeah, I'm just tired of hearing this talk, man. Like, and 1010XL is doing it a lot, which is irritating me. Like, yeah, our guy went down. Like, it sucks. That's football. You know? And it's the same argument I have against them doing away with the preseason. That's football. Like, if y'all don't like that people are getting hurt, find another sport. Go play tiddlywinks. Go shoot some badminton. Go do swimming. You know, whatever. Like, this is a contact sport. These are gladiators out there that are literally laying themselves on the line week after week. It could happen in practice. It can happen in workouts. It can happen preseason, regular season playoffs. It could happen any point in time. So stop it, please, with we could draft it. Yes, of course we could have. Did it happen? No. We could have Paul Posluszny walking through the freaking door again. Is he going to come back? No, he's not. Is Telvin coming back? No, he's not.
He said at the game he wasn't coming back. Brian Sexton sat actually with Paul Posluszny and asked him. They had a nice interview, very good, and said, do you feel like you could play? And he goes, oh, no.
Nope.
He refuted that argument very quickly.
He slapped that hook out of his mouth immediately and was like, no, don't you go fishing on me.
Yeah, I went through a roller coaster of emotions in that particular instant. But anyways.
I don't blame you. But either way, like, guys, let's just cool it. You know, again, as we mentioned at the top of the show, half the league is going to go 0-1. It just happens. That's how it goes. Just because we're 0-1 does not mean the sky is falling.
No.
You know? And we played against a Super Bowl contender, not only last year, but this year as well. Arguably one of the best quarterbacks that is in the NFL currently, one of the best offenses, one of the best front offices, one of the best head coaches that are in the league currently.
Andy Reid's a genius.
And we stuck with them with a 6th-round rookie. We lost by 14 points.
And you know what? We were pretty much in it up until the point of the Fournette fumble, and as soon as and that was towards
that was a killer.
That was towards the end of the third quarter, and we were still driving.
Yes,
I mean, we were driving at that point with a chance down by 10 to make it a 1-score game, whether it be 3 or whether it be 7. And if that ball's not on the turf, I genuinely believe the Jags score points. We're in field goal range at that point, and it might be a different game.
That would have been.
Do I think we still win? Odds are no.
No, but that would have been a, what was it, a 10-point game or a 7-point game?
It was a 10-point game at that point.
Yeah.
So if we kick a field goal at the minimum, because we're in field goal range,
right.
And Lambeau's money, he was money, you know, during the entire game. He always is. 8. Then we're only down by 7. Right. And if we do score a touchdown on that particular drive, which I believe was a good chance that could have happened, then it's only a 3-point game. I mean, it could have been different. And do I think we still would have won? No. I mean, if we scored a touchdown there, I still think the Chiefs pull it away, but we were competitive.
Here's my argument, though, is that everything, and this is the thing that I feel like other fan bases get because they've been there and they've understood it. Our fan base doesn't understand it.
No.
And it's not everybody. It's, you know, it might be some of you folks out there, it might not. But a lot of folks don't get it. The real organizations, the sky was falling. The sky literally fell on us this week.
It did.
Our quarterback that we spent a shit ton of money on went down with an injury within a couple drives.
$22.5 million.
Our defense, which is supposed to be the best friggin' thing on the planet and is supposed to keep us in ball games, laid an egg. They could not figure out what to do. They let their emotions get the best of them, and they got shit on all freaking day.
They kind of did. Yeah, they really did.
Our left tackle, who's supposed to be coming back from an ACL injury, is supposed to be good to go.
Hyperextends his opposite knee.
Was like, oh crap, I can't play.
Yeah.
And we had to throw in another guy who had never, ever, ever played left tackle ever.
And another sidebar on that
And he
Actually,
played his ass off.
amazing. Did a
played his
hell
ass
of
off.
a job. One of the first passing downs of the entire game, he just puts the wood on Frank Clark and sticks him in the ground. And I didn't hear the guy's name called again until he had the pick.
No.
When it bounced off Leonard Fournette's face.
No.
That was it.
And again, speaking about guys playing their ass off, Uncle Rico himself, 6th-round rookie draft choice, Gardner
Played
Minshew,
his ass off.
coming in there playing his ass off also. So all of these things that you're looking at it and you're like, and our wide receivers were fantastic. So we're looking at
Very
it.
good. And that was the biggest question mark going into the year. A lot of
Yes.
people said, their wide receivers can't, they were getting significant and constant separation. And they were looking really good, and they made it very easy for Gardner to go through his progressions, pick a good choice, and move on. And even Nick Foles, before he went out, man, the guy was 5 for 8 for 75 yards and that beautiful touchdown pass on the play that he got hurt. In which he said he's never thrown that route before. Normally it's supposed to be underneath, but when he saw it, something told him to throw it, is what he said in his post-game interview. And that's what he went for. And clearly it was a good choice.
Absolutely.
Outside of the fact that he's been lost now for the next 10 weeks.
Well, that's an addition.
Yeah, we choose not to think about that portion of the play other than, whatever.
But
Neither here nor there.
Exactly. Either way, bottom line is, are we going to win 15 games in a row? Probably not. No.
No.
Are we even going to win maybe, 10 games in a row until Nick Foles comes back? Probably no. Was the Chiefs' defense trash? Chiefs' defense is pretty much trash. They're not a very good unit. Texans are arguably a better unit.
The Texans have a better front seven. Their secondary is not good.
In fact, they released former Jaguar Aaron Colvin earlier today. They paid him all that money to come in and play corner. and he
Back to Jacksonville.
took a big fat dump. Yeah, no kidding. Can we bring him back?
He can come play free safety. Because
Yeah, no kidding. Which we'll get to that also. Good God Almighty. We'll get to the defense here in a hot
Jared
second.
Wilson
Because
and Ronnie Harrison.
Man,
Just a little over.
It's
You know
coming.
what? Hold on. Instead of a second, you know what? I'm just going to make it happen.
we're just gonna make it happen now.
So,
We're gonna make it happen
I'm sorry.
now. Either way, just to sum it all up.
Yeah.
Look, it's week 1. We've got 1 week under our belt.
Yeah, he's
We
right.
got 15 more games of this crap. Let's try and not freak out and think that the sky is falling because, hey, the worst crap happened to us, and we played a Super Bowl contender tough for 4 quarters.
Absolutely.
And that was with our defense playing like garbage.
Yeah, the fact that you can lose your starting quarterback and offensively actually be very competitive is impressive. I think if you would have said going into this game, if you would read the stats afterwards, and your stats would show Fournette with 5.1 yards a carry, and your stats would show DJ Chark with 146 yards and a touchdown, and your stats would show D.D. Westbrook with a touchdown, and Chris Conley almost hit 100 yards and also had a touchdown, and wouldn't you think we probably won the game, or it was really close? Leonard Fournette, I told you I said 5.1 yards a carry. I mean, if you tell me all those sorts of things, I say, okay, Jacksonville either won it or it was a nail biter.
Right.
And because we expect, and we've gotten spoiled over the last 2 years, and what happened last year, which was a major factor, is that even though our offense was absolutely garbage, last year, our defense was still a top 5 defense. And if the offense would have been somewhat respectable last year, honest to goodness, it is a chance it could have been 1 or 2. It really could have been. But we put ourselves in so many positions last year with the inability to move or score that the defense was required to go above and beyond what was ever even possible, that they didn't really have an opportunity to rush like they did in 2017. And they didn't really have an opportunity to create turnovers like they did in 2017 because we were playing from behind because our offense was trash.
I honestly think we could have flipped our record. Like we could have easily won 11 games.
110%. And in one game, Gardner Minshew had more passes over 5 yards than Cody Kessler did in 5 games, which is insane. So the defense is. But
all y'all wanted to give Cody Kessler a chance because
he played, and you know what's? It was so opposite though, because you know what's funny is last year Cody Kessler in the preseason, going into the preseason, I felt about him, I'm like, oh God, and then we go into the preseason and the guy plays really well.
Yep.
And then we get into the regular season, it's like we'll be all right, and then he was trash. And is some of that play calling? Probably. Is some of that him? Yeah. But going into this season, ironically enough, what's funny is that we come out of the preseason, Gardner not having done so well. As soon as he comes in the game, I'm like, dude, it's over. Like, this is it.
Yep, it's been a good season.
It's been a good season. And he goes out there and has one of the best debuts that I've ever seen.
That anyone's ever seen.
Yeah, it was phenomenal for a quarterback. And our teams have film on him now. Are they going to figure it out? Yeah, but you know what? Here's why I have optimism.
It's not like he's Mike Vick, though. Like, it's not like he's one of those, like, oh, gosh, we don't know what to do with this guy. He's a running quarterback. Like, no, that's not who he is.
It's not like that. And the reason I have optimism on him is it's been talked about his intelligence over and over. Eric mentioned it earlier. And him matched with John DeFilippo's offense, the play call was tremendous, honestly, on Sunday. As far as the offense goes, I was very impressed by it. I was actually very impressed by myself because there was one particular play where I said they lined up in the shotgun, and it was a 2nd down and 8 or something like that. And I said...
I was working, so, I kind of watched very sparingly on my phone.
He did. But I talked to him about it, and they lined up in the shotgun on this particular play, and I said, Fournette inside, he's going to go right between the left guard and the center, out of the shotgun. And that's exactly what they did, and he picked up like 13 yards. And I think that they're going to be all right in this offense. And I think that they're not going to be afraid to move forward like they were with Cody Kessler and like they were with Blake Bortles to basically fucking do anything. So I'm excited. I'm excited for what's going forward. I'm a little nervous about Sunday against Houston just because Houston really gave New Orleans a run for their money on Sunday night the other night.
If we're ranking the AFC South teams, we're no doubt 4-4. Like we're in
at this moment,
at this point.
100%. 100%.
Yeah.
At this moment.
So that's a little nerve-wracking.
We got Houston and Tennessee 2 in a row. Tennessee on a short week on Thursday night. We'll see you there, by the way.
Ooh, we will both be there. Yes.
For some NFL pregame show hosted by Teal Street Hooligans, Bold City Brigade.
Woo!
That's going to be a lot of fun.
PCB, baby.
I've got reason for optimism. I'm not doom and gloom until doom and gloom call. Like if we go 0-5, then I'm going to be doom.
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
okay,
at that point, it's time to kind of panic a little bit.
Exactly. Right now, it's not that time.
No. Again, half the teams go 0-1. It happens. 15 other teams are in the same situation right now.
Especially because the offense gave you reason for optimism, right?
Which was the unit that we were so worried about.
Exactly. The defense did not have a good day, but they have the talent, and I think that they can fix it, okay? The problem was, and we're going to get to it now.
Yep.
The problem.
Go ahead and get into it, man.
The secondary was the issue. A.J. Bouye did not have a good day. Jalen Ramsey did not have a good day. Ronnie Harrison did not have a good day.
Had an awful day.
Jared Wilson did not have a good day. It was not a good day. One of the ones that stuck out to me the most was the first long touchdown to Sammy Watkins, where it's one of the most routine plays that you can possibly have. It was, I want to say it was something like 2nd and 7 or 3rd and 7, and they hit Watkins over the middle, and Harrison's coming up, and all he has to do is make a controlled tackle, and he comes in like with a head of speed that he didn't need. I don't know if he was just trying to make the big play or trying to make the big hit, and just whiffs so hard, and there's nobody else there. Watkins cut it inside, and that was it, man. But all he had to do was make that tackle. He makes it. Sure, they get a first down, but make them work for it. Like if they're going to go down the field 5, 6, 7, 10 yards at a time, then fine, that's okay. But make them work for it. Don't whiff on this tackle where it could have been a 10-yard gain, and now all of a sudden he's going for a touchdown.
That's the overall problem with this unit, I think, is that they're not thinking outside the box. They don't see the big picture. They focus on, and it goes back, and I love Miles Jack for coming out and at least apologizing
I agree with that.
for his ejection. But this is the problem that we have with this defense, is that they feel like they've got to defend themselves. They feel like they have to defend the swag that they have and that they possess. Bullshit. Leave that crap on the sideline. I don't want to hear any of that, man. Like, don't get me wrong. I love a defense that plays with some sauce and goes out there and lays people in the dirt.
Which is fine if you're winning. If you're winning.
Exactly. But that's the key point right there, is that you're controlling it. You're controlling your emotions. You're controlling what you're doing out there on the field, and that you're winning. And neither of those things happened at all on Sunday. So and again, Miles Jack coming on, and again, I can tell that he was very contrite. I could tell that he felt very badly for how things went down. But he doesn't get it. Like, he still just doesn't get it. He's apologizing for letting his emotions get the best of him, which is great, and I'm paraphrasing here. Because I don't have the direct quotes in front of me, but he was basically saying there were no flags that were thrown at that particular point in time, even though there was, he didn't see it. But he felt like he needed to defend himself. Those were the words that I remembered.
Would you like me to read it to you?
Yes, go ahead. Read it out.
So this is word for word, and before I read it, actually, I'll tell you what I feel about it after I read it. So, this is word for word per Jaguars.com. Miles Jack, quote, "I have to apologize to my team in the city of Jacksonville because this is not how we conduct ourselves in any way." Jack emphasized that he didn't believe Watkins was trying to run a route on the play. Quote, "I just felt like the play was a non-football play. I felt like it was a pass play and the receiver did not run a route. I felt like he smashed right into me underneath my chin, tackled me, got up and said some words to me, so I kind of pushed him, and I got attacked from the back. At that point, I felt like we were not playing football anymore, but that's no excuse for my actions. Looking back, it was an idiotic move for me, and to do that because you do not get points for that. I am a captain now, and the team just extended me, so I have to do better for my team." I believe it to a certain extent, and I believe it, and I feel like it's a sincere apology, but I want to see that he's being serious. I don't want to see any more dumb stuff like that.
No, but
I want to see the consistency of
Exactly.
have a better head on your shoulders and know when it's time to walk away and not to let them bait you, because what's going to happen now is if other teams see that you can do that, if they mess with you, it's going to happen.
They know that.
They're going to push your buttons.
And that's the overall problem that I have with this whole situation is that it is the referee's job to call that. If they feel like that was what he was doing, they would throw a flag. Now, I feel like he's correct. I feel like they should have thrown a flag for offensive pass interference. Instead, they threw a flag for illegal contact, which was garbage. However, that is not your job as a player to figure out. Your job as a player is to make sure that they do not score defensively. They do not score. That's what it is. So, regardless of what you feel like he is doing, regardless of what he says, damn that, man. You know how many things are said out there on the football field about whoever's mama or whatever? I've been there.
It's all trash talk, man.
I know what is said out there. We both know what is said out there. Like, it sucks. We don't like it, but that's football. Yeah. Get over it. You are a captain. Yes. You just got extended. Yes.
Lead by example, man.
Let's focus on that. You be the guy out there. You be the better guy. Damn the swag. Damn all that other crap. Leave it on the sideline. Go out there, hit somebody, and knock them in the dirt.
That's it. Let your play do the talking. That's what needs to happen, and that's where there's an issue right now.
Yes.
And for some reason, it's become more important to them to not look like a punk, right? Than to.
They don't want to get punked. That's what it is.
That's what it is, and it's like, dude, just if you let your play do the talking, man, it'll make up for it. But.
And again, I know I've ranted out so many curse words that I didn't rant out all last season, so I apologize for any innocent ears, but I'm very passionate about this stuff, especially when it comes to football, and I hate hearing stuff like this where it's just a bunch of friggin' excuses. Like,
I agree.
You got your money. You got your captaincy. This is voted on by your teammates and the coaches, and you go and do that, and you don't even last a half of football, and that's the apology you give?
Yeah.
You can do better. You can do better. I know you can do better.
And we fully expect you to do better.
Yes.
I do. I think he will. I do.
Yeah, I do as well.
I've got faith in the fact that he will, but I want him to prove it to me.
Yes,
where I'm at
100%.
Right
100%.
And, I mean, I don't want to spend too terribly long on the defensive effort. I do want to touch just very quickly on pass rush, as you didn't see a lot of it. We did hit the quarterback a few times. On the plays that we did hit the quarterback, it seemed like there was always some sort of penalty.
Chiefs do have a decent offensive line, though, so there's that.
They
also.
do. Right tackle, nuts. Eric Fisher's a good player.
He's okay. He's not great.
Yeah, he's all right. He's better than Luke Jokel, clearly, because he's still in the league.
Right. Not worth a number one overall pick, I'll tell you that.
I wouldn't say that. He's been solid for them, but that's about. Gus Bradley's solid, I think. But the Chiefs, we didn't put them in a situation where it was an obvious passing down. I think the statistic that I heard was 3rd and 7+. I think we put them in that spot twice.
Yeah,
the
I heard that same
entire
stat.
game.
Yeah, which is not good enough.
The entire game. 3rd
Not
and
good
15 one time, and I think that ended up being the first punt of the game. And then what was the other one was 3rd and 7, and that was when Matt Moore was already in the game.
Yeah, which
and that's
doesn't
not
count.
good enough.
Nah,
that's
doesn't
not
count.
good enough. So you know what? I can't really blame the pass rush for much. They weren't given an opportunity because the coverage on
No.
the backside was not very good.
No, and the other piece, and you know, we'll kind of, because I think we hit on everything that we wanted to talk about defensively. But the other thing that I heard Logman kind of talk about on Jaguars Today yesterday was that moving Calais inside negated 2 positions.
I think it affected it. I agree with you.
And see, I disagree. I don't think it did. Now, Calais obviously is an edge rusher, and that is his primary position.
Right.
But who do you got behind Marcel Darius?
Well,
you got Taven Bryan.
Well, theoretically, if you pick if you pick him in the first round last year,
Yes.
you should be able to put him in and expect
And
somebody to be able to play
that part
well.
I agree with.
Yeah, I agree
And
with that.
Logman said the same thing.
And I don't think that putting Josh Allen in his spot was a bad thing. I just
Yeah.
think that I don't know. In the end, it was probably a wash because the secondary didn't play well enough to even give them a chance.
Right. I mean, and my point is, what else are you going to do?
Yeah.
You know, you either go out and
I
you
agree.
look at other options, or you kind of just stick with what you got.
You
And
do-
Taven Bryan isn't going to give you the pressure that you need.
No, I hope Marcel Darius can play this week. The expectation is that he was really close to playing
was really
last
close,
week,
yeah.
and that he should be just about there this week.
Fingers
And I hope
crossed.
so. We need him against Deshaun Watson, man. We struggle with the mobile quarterbacks, unfortunately.
Yeah, always.
And
And that's been 25 years of
That's-
Jaguars football. We've never been good against a
Steve
mobile quarterback.
McNair, ugh. Makes me want to puke a little bit. But I mean, overall, with all that set aside and all that talked about and said, I'm gonna start to move past this Chiefs game a little bit. But before I do, I want to give kudos where kudos is deserved. Patrick Mahomes is a very good quarterback.
Yes.
Extraordinarily good quarterback.
One of the best, if not the best.
Absolutely. I root for the guy. I like the guy. Did not root for him last week because
No.
he played against Jacksonville.
Oh,
Every other week in the NFL season, I will root for him. Except unless we're in some sort of race for something, then I will not root for him. But I like the guy a lot. I think he's a very good quarterback. I'm going to root for him. Andy Reid is an extraordinarily good coach. Puts together an offense that tailors to this guy's skills. And Kansas City is going to be a very, very good team this year. And I would be honestly very shocked if they are not in the AFC Championship game and potentially representing the AFC in the Super Bowl. So with everything that we went through and the fact that we were able to be competitive to some point for quite some time, overall, it's not as bad as it seems. Hold on. Let me throw this back a little.
Pause.
What's that, Billy Joel? Billy Joel says, the good old days weren't always good, and tomorrow ain't as bad as it seems. And that's where I think we're at in Jacksonville right now. So it's not going to be as bad as you think it's going to be.
This was not a Blake Bortles garbage time. That's where we put all the points on the board, and that's why it's a 14-point loss.
Not at all.
No,
Not at all.
we hung tough with these guys.
We really did.
And we did it with all of the adversity that we could have possibly imagined. And coming into this, we were all feeling pretty good because the injury bug didn't bite. Knock on wood, knock on wood. And
If you're with me.
yeah, exactly.
Knock on wood if you're unemployed, man.
Knock on wood if you're with me, man. Let's go.
Let's go.
Fucking Chucky. But yeah, so, we were feeling pretty good going into week one. Like, okay, we might not win this one, but we'll hang tough. And honestly, that's
what we did.
Happened.
That's what we did.
Happened.
We just expected more out of our defensive
Yes.
effort. We didn't expect as much out of our offense.
No,
And so we
not
got.
at all.
I think we got the same overall effort we expected. We just got it in the opposite.
different ways.
In the opposite way.
Yeah,
Which is all right.
different ways. I'll take it, though.
Yeah, I'll take it, man.
I'll take it. I'm not sad about it.
So I'm gonna move forward just a little bit.
Yeah, let's go.
I think we've spent enough time on Kansas City, and
100%.
I'm gonna ask you what your expectations are gonna be for traveling to Houston this week.
So, obviously, Houston is one of the better venues in the NFL. That place is always loud. They have great fans. Great fan base. They're constantly rowdy in there. Like Cade mentioned, they've got a better secondary, or their secondary isn't as good, but their front seven is very good. Minus JJ Twat, I don't think he's very, very good. It's gotten to the point I just call him JJ Twat now.
He's slowing down a little bit, and you also have to consider the loss of Jadeveon Clowney as well.
I feel they made a mistake parting ways with Jadeveon Clowney.
I think so too.
I know he didn't necessarily make it easy on them, but they made a mistake. And I've heard so many damn arguments about how, you got one pass rusher, you don't need two in the AFC South where you got, not enough great quarterbacks, Andrew Luck is gone. Blah, 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 blah. Like, I've heard all of those arguments, and it's a bunch of garbage. If you got one good pass rusher, that's great. Two good pass rushers, even better. So the fact that you're like, okay, well, we'll part ways with you because we've got one good pass rusher, allegedly. No,
that's the twilight of his career at this point.
Right. And, by the way, the man didn't even record a tackle against the Saints. So
that was a hell of a game.
That was a great game.
They might have already played, game of the year so far.
Right.
I'm glad New Orleans pulled it out. I'm just going to throw that out there.
So with that being said, what I know with me, I'm thinking they might take a step back this week because they put so much effort in playing tough.
Short week.
Yeah. To playing tough against, again, Super Bowl contending team year after year, one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL right now, one of the best coaching staffs in the NFL right now. So maybe they just played out of their mind, and it's not necessarily something that is going to be indicative of how they're going to play football for the rest of the year. DeAndre Hopkins, one of the best wide receivers in the NFL, dropped 4 passes.
And it's his fault because I don't know if you saw the thing he wrote on his locker board before the game that said something like his goals for the year, and one of his goals was no more drop passes again because I think last year he had no drop passes.
I think put an X on that one.
Congratulations on that, but you done messed it up for this year because, he had a few drops. And
also, I have no idea where this Nuke nickname came from.
Yeah, I don't either.
I don't know what that is.
Is it because he's ugly?
I don't know. I don't freaking know.
Because that dude's ugly.
It's not,
yeah, sorry. I'm just going to throw that out there. But, yeah.
But, yeah, it's hard to gauge. Obviously, Deshaun Watson's a very good quarterback. I don't think he's a top quarterback in the league.
His mobility can kill you, but what's going to kill him and what if we can get them in the right situations and the defense can step it back up this week is going to be that he holds on to the ball too long.
Jalen Ramsey needs to play his best football this week.
Him and AJ both.
Yeah, absolutely. Because Kiki Kuti is nobody to shake a stick at either.
No, not at all.
And that's who Booyah is going to be covering on the opposite side there.
Yeah.
So, and then, by the way, you've got a deep threat like Kenny Stills. And I love to hate on Kenny Stills because all that man does is run his mouth. But
I think DJ Hayden can take him. If he's playing the slot, I do. Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I would agree. The one thing I will say is that I'm tired of ESPN and Fox Sports and everybody blowing smoke and sunshine up freaking Laramie Tunsil's ass because that man is not a good left tackle. I mean, everybody seems to think that all of a sudden he's one of the best left tackles in the game. He's not.
We're going to put him to the test.
We're going to put him to the test. Absolutely. Yeah. Calais is going to get in there. Josh Allen is going to get in there.
Calais, if Darius is back this week, Calais, their right tackle, they got problems at right tackle. Calais will line up on that side, and coming from the left side is going to be a combination of Ngakoue, Allen, and then Allen will test the right tackle as well. And I think that Tunsil's going to have a test, man.
He's going to have a test. But
was the trade worth it? We're going to find out.
I was about to say, you
Stay
tuned,
folks.
You tell me how you feel, though. Because, I know sometimes I'm very off base, and I get very kind of worked up. I'm a typical fan when it comes to that crap sometimes. But, honestly, from what I've seen, at least in Miami, I feel like everybody was kind of ho-hum about him, and then all of a sudden he got the trade rumors were floating around, and he was like, he's one of the better left tackles in the game. When? How? When did this happen?
Yeah, you didn't hear his name a lot until these trade rumors started coming up. But Tommy, who is in India at the moment, Tommy, I'm sorry, buddy.
Sorry, man. Indoor plumbing is great.
Lots of curry, brother. Lots of curry. But Tommy has... Tommy was a little apprehensive about him getting shipped off because he was the best offensive lineman that they had.
Mm-hmm. What's that all by?
Yeah.
Well, that's not saying much because it's Miami.
But I don't know. I'd have to check on him and see what he'd think about, as far as overall Laramie Tunsil. But it's going to be interesting. I'm with Eric in the avenue that I think that the most intriguing matchup to me coming up in this next game is going to be our D-line versus their O-line. They've been known for a bad O-line. The only upgrade they really made was left tackle Laramie Tunsil in a trade.
Same guys, basically, on that front line there.
Which is wild.
Matt Khalil, in fact, is no longer on that O-line. He had a season-ending injury, as far as I'm aware, and he's one of the better offensive linemen out there also.
Yeah,
so
they got screwed on that one.
Yeah, 100%. So the fact that you're basically, Chantrell Henderson is really the only other guy that I can think of off the top of my head that's at least okay.
Right.
The rest of them are hot garbage. So.
Yeah, it's going to be rough. It's going to be interesting, though.
Yeah. No, it'll be an interesting game. It'll be a test.
And our O-line as well. So I'm going to say that
yes.
the trenches are going to be my most intrigued matchup, right?
That would be the units I would circle on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, the trenches. That's what we're going to be focused at. We'll be watching the game together Sunday, actually.
Yes.
Here at Mikasa, and maybe we'll have a quick take for you. Maybe we'll even have a quick pregame show. We'll talk about a few things.
Hey, maybe we can do it from the pool, man.
Maybe we can.
Hey.
Maybe we'll be in the pool.
Hey.
Who knows?
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And, it's this whole division. It's one of those things you're looking at and you're like, oh, gosh. Like, what do we even make of this now? Like, what is actually going to happen? Because there's no Andrew Luck all of a sudden.
They actually played a tight game with the Chargers, though. If Vinatieri would have actually been able to make some kicks, they'd have won that game.
And that's the head scratcher even further because you're like, oh, it's Jacoby Brissett. He's not really gonna. Oh, okay. And their kicker let them down. Okay.
Yeah, go figure.
Houston goes and balls out against New Orleans, which honestly I was expecting the Saints to just blow the doors off.
I did too. I really did too. And then probably the surprise of the entire week
was the Titans just pummeling Cleveland into the ground. All the talent and all the talk that they had over in Cleveland, and they go and lay a big, fat freaking egg.
Yeah, wild, man.
And Marcus Mariota looked like a good quarterback all of a sudden.
Which he did not do the entire preseason.
What is this?
The entire preseason, he looked like trash.
It was looking like Tannehill was going to be the starting quarterback in Tennessee.
They didn't get any pressure on him, though, in Cleveland, as far as I'm concerned. So guess what? If we can get some pressure on him on Thursday night here in about, a week from tomorrow.
So again, let's rewind it back to what we were saying
before. Take that. Rewind it back.
It is 1 week, folks. 1 week. Yeah, it didn't look great. Parts of it weren't pretty, but it's 1 week.
That's it, man.
We got 15 more of these games.
That's the same thing with Tennessee. I mean, I'm just saying, listen, you can look really good 1 week and not look very good the next week, or vice versa. It happens.
That's the beauty of football overall,
Until it becomes a 3 to 4 week trend, I'm not quite on board with believing that it's going to be a thing, right?
College, high school, peewees, that's how it all goes. Like the first game, you never know what's actually going to happen.
You never quite know, especially considering the fact that the vast majority of these guys didn't play in the preseason. They didn't do it because Marone played conservatively because he didn't want to risk injuries, and then kind of got slapped in the face with his philosophy because look what happened in the first quarter.
A lot of teams got slapped in their face with that philosophy.
Yeah, you can get on whatever train you want, and you're going to look smart if it works, and you're going to look dumb if it doesn't. And there's no rhyme or reason to why things happen and why guys get injured in the NFL. And if something happens and it affects your season, then that's just the way that it's going to be.
It is football.
And you've got to ride with it.
It is football. And this little trend that we got going on with, preseason is overrated. Bullshit. Yeah. Preseason is not overrated. You talk to a lot of these veterans that have played years and years and years of football.
They like it and they appreciate it.
They appreciate it because they got their opportunity. Victor Cruz is a prime example of that.
He balled out in preseason.
Would have never, ever, ever made he went to the University of Massachusetts, for crying out loud. Not a football factory, folks. He went and balled out, and he was one of the better wide receivers that the Giants ever had. So We're going to keep the preseason. It's going to be there, guys. Maybe we won't keep maybe the NFL will just do something stupid and they'll just
something tells
completely
me
nix it.
if I got to take a wild guess is that they're going to cut it down to 2 games.
Yeah, that's my
and
thinking
one,
as well.
one game's going to be get a look at your guys, and the next game's going to be get the starters ready kind of thing.
Which honestly, that part of it doesn't. I don't mind that because that makes sense. Like, go ahead and put the guys out there that you need to put out there.
Let them play for 3 quarters.
Give the guys a tune-up in that second game, and that's all you need, kind of thing.
I'm with it.
I don't think we need 4, but we do need a preseason.
Yeah, we need something. Obviously, I don't think they're going to get rid of it completely. It's still necessary. All right, man. Let's get past that. Well, hold on. Before I get past Houston completely, of course, we got to get back to the classic Jags and Jack prediction.
Dun dun dun.
So, going off everything we just talked about and our most intriguing matchups, tell me, Eric, what's your prediction for this week in Houston, sir?
Well, I'm actually bringing up the schedule as we speak, so give me a hot second here.
Pow, 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 pow.
All right.
See what I did there? Did you like that? That's
All
it.
right. So, let's go ahead and because we didn't really do this a ton. We didn't do the season breakdown, so let's go ahead and give a season breakdown.
This makes me nervous though because I don't. The quarterback situation is.
Oh, I know, but
flux.
that's what makes this fun. That's what makes this
All right.
fun. So we're gonna do some fun stuff here now. Obviously we're 0-1, so there's unlucky. We're not going undefeated. no Dolphins stuff in our future.
Yeah.
No 72 Dolphins. But we'll go through here and we'll kind of just we'll go game by game and figure out what we're kind of looking at here.
All right.
Fair?
Yeah.
So we're 0-1. Jaguars and Texans. Win or loss?
Jags win 26-21. I didn't want to say it. I really wanted to pick the Texans to win, honestly.
Oh.
But you know what? I think I'm gonna take the minority on that one.
Yeah, I think Texans are going to win.
I think
I'm
not
going off of what I've
don't
seen
disagree.
so far
I
with
don't
the defense.
disagree at all.
I think we're going to take the L.
I want them to prove me that they're gonna be trash again. Like I haven't seen them be consistently trash 2 weeks in a row in the last 3 years at all. And so where I'm at with the whole situation is, okay, I'm gonna pick you, and I'm gonna pick you to actually hold Houston to 3 touchdowns. And if you prove me wrong again, then I'm
gonna feel differently.
I'm gonna feel differently, but
I'm gonna feel some sort of way
because I've not seen it consistently. That's where I'm gonna ride.
Okay, so 0-2, 1-1. Titans come to visit us Thursday night on a short week. Win or loss?
I'm gonna say Jacksonville wins. I
You
know.
don't necessarily have to give a score if you want.
I'm being optimistic. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say the Jags win that one.
I'm going to say Jags win as well.
I think we break our Tennessee curse on that night.
well, especially because it's at home. If it was in Nashville, I'd feel a little
I
bit
might
different.
feel differently too.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
But it being at home, I'll go with that.
And
so
it's a teal out too. You know.
Oh, it's a teal out as well. You know the teal out's coming, baby.
Yeah.
Teal out's coming. So 2-1, 1 or 2.
Yeah. Broncos.
Broncos in Denver.
You know what, man? I might have picked differently if they would have beat the Raiders this week.
Mm-hmm.
But if a lot of things go according to plan, I think we beat the Broncos.
Yeah, I don't like the way they look.
I don't
like the way they look at all.
They
I don't
look
trust
good.
Joe Flacco at all.
Joe Flacco's a statue, man. If
Yeah.
we can get any sort of pass rush whatsoever,
Good
I think we're
defense.
going down.
Because Fangio is like the smartest dude defensively
You would think
in the
but
league.
they
Like
didn't even get a quarterback hit against Derek Carr the other night.
you hear that like going across the league. Like you talk about that and you're like, oh, Vic Fangio. Oh, that dude. He knows.
Yeah,
So yeah, defense salty, offense.
yeah.
So we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, I think they get the victory as well. So what we got here? 2-2 for me, 3-1 for you.
Yep.
Jaguars visiting Charlotte to take on the Panthers. Day before my birthday.
I think we lose that game.
I think they lose that game as well. I hate Cam Newton. Hate him to death.
I do,
I
too.
hate the Panthers overall, but they got too many weapons.
Anytime there's a mobile quarterback, man, I just don't feel good about it.
Too many weapons. So 2-3 for me, 3-2 for you.
Yeah.
Okay. Saints visiting Jacksonville next week.
I don't think we win that game.
Nah, I don't think so either.
If we did, I would be ecstatic. But
Oh, of course, absolutely. I'd be jumping up and down. It'd be like the Patriots all over again.
Yeah, we're not winning that game.
No, we're not winning that game.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I don't know. Houston gave him a run for their money, man. There's one thing. One of two things is happening here. Either New Orleans isn't as good as we think, or Houston's better than we think.
yes. So either way, I don't like that
Yeah,
because we got to play both of them.
I don't either.
2 and 4 for me. What is that? 3 and 3 for you?
Yeah.
Okay. Bengals. We
think-
visit Cincinnati.
I think we win that game.
That's a victory for us.
Yeah.
Yes. 3 and 4, 4 and 3.
Yep.
Jets coming in to take on Jacksonville.
I think we win that game.
I think we win that game as well. So what is that? 4 and 4 now for me,
Yeah.
and 5 and 4 for you.
Yeah. No, 5 and 3.
5 and 3. I'm sorry. Yeah. Math. Whee!
Yeah.
Texans visit us.
It's in London, so I'm gonna
In
pick,
London, yeah.
the Jags. I think we sweep the Texans this year.
Yeah, I agree. I think we split. So I think
Yeah.
in London, I think we win that game because
Yeah.
London's like home away from home. So I think we win that. So what's
So here comes the bye, and then after the bye, allegedly Nick Foles will be back at this point. So now we're picking.
Now things get crazy.
Assuming he's gonna be back.
So at the bye, I've got 5 and 4, right?
Yep.
And you've got
6
and
three.
3. Okay.
Which would be amazing.
That would be, yes.
By the
Going
way.
with Gardner Minshew at quarterback. Either one of those. I would take either one of those. Going over 500 going into the bye, I would take either one of those.
I would too.
So now we
I
travel
really
to
would.
Indy.
Actually, yeah. If we went into the
And
bye,
we-
I had 5 and 3, and you had 4 and 4.
What was that?
I had 5 and 3. You had 4 and 4.
No, I had 5 and 4. You had 6 and 3.
6 and 3. 5 and 4. I'd be ecstatic if 5
Right?
and 4 at the bye.
That's what I'm talking about. Because
I really would.
I had. Let's see.
Yeah, you had 5 and 4.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
I had 6 and 3.
Yeah. 5 and 4, 6.
So-
Yeah. So
so-
either one of those.
So then we're going to Indy
Then we're going to Indy
with Nick Foles coming
with
back.
Nick Foles. Victory.
Yeah, I'm gonna say victory too.
6 and 4, 7 and 3.
Yep.
Go to Nashville. Loss.
Loss. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
We'd be lucky to beat the Titans twice.
6 and 5, 7 and 4.
Yeah.
Bucks Jaguars win.
Jags win 69-2.
Yeah, no freaking kidding. God damn it. Sorry, Brandon.
Sorry, Brandon.
Oh God.
I'm sorry. Yeah, that's a win.
I lost track of that now. Oh, God. I lost track of what our records were.
I'm
That
sorry.
killed me. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
All right. So,
Sorry. So hold on. At the bye.
yes. So 5 and 4, 6 and 3. So
Wins.
Yes, wins. Losses. Wins.
Yeah.
So 7 and 4, 8 and 3.
Yeah. I'd be
Okay.
thrilled at that. No, 8 and 4. No, yeah, because I said a loss at Tennessee, so
Yeah.
it would be. I was 6 and 3 at the bye,
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. So
so 8 and 4.
8 and 4. That means I've got 7
Boy,
and 5.
how optimistic am I being right now?
Yeah, I mean you are a little bit.
Y'all
I'm
need,
not gonna lie.
y'all need to come settle it
8
down.
and 4,
a little
7
bit.
and 5. Chargers coming in town to play us. That's a loss.
That's a loss. Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, 7 and 6, 8 and 5.
Yeah.
Raiders. We go to the West Coast. That is a loss.
We're trash on the West Coast.
That is a loss.
That's a loss until they prove me otherwise.
Exactly. So 7 and 7, 8 and 6.
Yeah.
Right?
I'm gonna say we beat the Falcons though.
I'm gonna say we beat the Falcons as well.
They were trash the other night.
Falcons are overrated.
And then
I
this
don't like them.
game, no shit, might be for a trip. to
Might
the
be for a
playoffs
playoff spot. Yep.
against Colts.
Yep.
I'm gonna say the Jags win and go to the playoffs.
Yep. I say that as well.
Yeah.
So I think we're both thinking that we're playoff bound. We both might be a little overly optimistic, but I think we get. I think it's 9 and 7 for me and 10 and 6 for you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
So. Yeah. So again, 1 week. We still got 15 more of these things. Stay tuned,
Yeah.
and we'll be okay.
Hang in there.
We'll be okay. Man. You want to do a little around the league and just kind of cover what we got, and we'll send the people home.
Yeah, let's do a little around the league. It doesn't have to be too long because your boy's got to take a piss here. So
Woo, man! Oh yeah.
this obviously was not very professional.
Sorry.
So
Lots of curse words from me, pissing from him. Sorry.
elephant in the room. Bill Belichick, Antonio Brown, nonsense.
Lots and lots of nonsense.
There's one word for it. It's nonsense.
Like, I cannot believe that one human being can produce so much crap. Just, I don't get it. First of all, I'm going to take my Jaguars hat off. I'm going to put my tinfoil hat on because I do think that there is a conspiracy. Yeah, go ahead, man.
Sorry, man.
Yeah, no, you're good. You're good. You're going to slide by?
No.
I was about to say, no, go around the other way. Go around the other way.
Hey.
Go around the other way. That's not going to happen.
Right.
I'm not thin enough for that.
Nah, you're good.
Too fat for that.
I'm not going to make it.
Hey, woo, trip and die.
Whoa.
Whoa. I didn't say I wanted you to trip and die. No, so the fact that one human being could produce so much crap, I'm going to put my tinfoil hat on here for a second because I think there's a conspiracy out there. I think that he wanted to go to the Patriots the entire friggin' time. And because the Steelers were smart and were like, nah, we're not going to trade you to a rival. Get the hell out of here. That's not going to happen. And they traded him all the way out to the Island of Misfit Toys to play with Chucky and the Oakland Raiders. I think he was like, you know what? How can I get my ass fired so that I can go and play with Bill Belichick and actually get some wins up on the scoreboard? Which, by the way, kudos to Chucky and the Raiders because they actually played well and they played the Broncos very well and they got the victory, which honestly I had no idea who was going to win that football game. Really didn't. Thought the Broncos were, but I really didn't have any clue. But yeah, I think that was the overall thing from the start that he wanted to go to the Patriots, and he will find any way in order to do so. Taking my tinfoil hat off, putting my Jags hat back on. So, I know that there's a lot of folks that are like, oh, no, that's not the case. No, there's no way the NFL's not rigged like that. Bull crap. It is. Okay? It is. So, just keep that in mind. And I really don't understand Antonio Brown. I just don't get him. I don't get him as a human. And there's been divas in the NFL. Like, even Terrell Owens. Like, T.O., I at least understood T.O. I understood Deion Sanders because he came from FSU and, prime time and the two different... I at least understood that. That makes sense. You're prime on the field, off the field, you're Deion. That makes sense. I get it. But I don't know where this guy is coming from. I don't understand a single thing. Woo! Ain't no laws when you're drinking the clothes, baby. So... I don't understand him at all. I really just want to understand what his mindset is, what he's actually thinking, what he wants to do, other than, I'm just going to be me. Like, nah, it didn't work in football. Sorry. I'm just going to be... No, that's not going to work.
Yeah,
sorry, bro.
Jerry Rice kind of called it.
Oh, Jerry Rice did call it. Absolutely. And a couple of the old veterans, and sometimes it's like that when you're kind of looking at it and you're like, oh, well, I don't know. They sound old and they sound like, oh, get off my porch and da-da-da. Like, it's not the case here. It's not the case.
No. Yeah, that whole thing.
Okay, so what do you think here? Do you think I'm off base here
No,
with the tinfoil
you're
hat?
100% correct.
Okay, all right, cool.
Yeah, I mean, I read the thing where Jerry Rice was talking about the other day where he thinks that the whole intention the entire time when he ended up in Oakland was that he was trying to get traded. Or he was either trying to get traded or he was trying to get cut. And that's why he was acting like a friggin' maniac. Yep. Which, to a certain extent, I think he's a maniac anyways.
He's a little out to lunch. Like, he really is.
Yeah, anybody who goes somewhere and their entire intent is just to drive people crazy, especially when your coach is someone who really believes in you.
And he's really going against the grain and trying to do everything possible just to make sure that you're okay and that you're set up for success and the whole team is set up for success. And you go and pull that?
It's a bummer, honestly, that he would go to that extent. But at the same time, I don't know. Maybe he's doing the will of the NFL gods and destroying the Patriots from the inside. That's all we can really hope for.
Please, dear God, let that be the case. I'm so tired of seeing the Emperor. He looks like a hobo more and more week after week.
That's all we can hope for. The whole thing's nonsense. I enjoyed the entire Hard Knock series. It was fantastic.
It always is. It always is.
It really is. They did a great job.
Everyone loves to hate on Hard Knocks and just say that, oh, it's reality TV. Da, da, da. Well, yeah, of course it is. But
the NFL is reality, man.
It's absolutely. It gives you an insight as to what these people like. You would never know Keelan Doss's name unless it was for Hard Knocks. You would never know his story. You would never hear anything of that.
No.
So
it's fun.
I'm okay with that.
It's a good time. Antonio Brown is. I don't even want to waste my time talking about him too much. The guy's a maniac.
I'm over it.
Yeah.
My Cowboys look very good. against the Giants. Now,
They
it was
did.
against the Giants, and the Giants are trash. They're very similar to the Dolphins and the Bucs right now.
Yeah.
That they're just not very good. But Dak played his ass off.
Honestly, he
And
did.
it was
Yeah, I had him on my fantasy bench, and good thing I didn't need him because he actually put up a lot of points.
and it was against the narrative too. Because you're looking at it and you're like, okay, excuse me.
Yeah, man, I just shotgun that. White
Yeah,
Claw,
no
so-
kidding. I just took a hard just
bad.
sip of that one, and I'm still. Bleh. It's against the narrative because you're like, okay, well, you got to have Zeke there, otherwise it's not going to be great. It's not going to work out.
Untrue.
Zeke
They
did
could have
nothing.
let. They
He
could have
got
let my
like
guy Tony Pollard do something, right?
50 yards on the ground, something like that. That was it.
Yeah, for that.
And
contract
Dak just threw
extension.
for a season or a week 1 record in Cowboys history, and just lit up the scoreboard. So hey, hats off Dak Prescott and Cowboys. What else did we see that we weren't necessarily expecting to see this week? Anything? I think that was
Whoa.
it, really.
Am I an idiot?
Well, what happened?
I didn't realize that the Cardinals and the Lions tied.
Oh, they did. Yeah, you missed that, didn't you?
I thought that the Cardinals came back to win.
No, they came back to tie.
In week 1?
Yes. So
I'd say it was a hell of a comeback.
our
Don't
boy
get me
Kyler,
wrong.
yeah, down 18 points in the final frame, and you come back and you force overtime.
Yeah. Hell of a
Shoot.
comeback.
Yeah,
Larry Fitzgerald, the
hats off.
ageless wonder.
No kidding, right? Like, how old is this guy? 75 now?
Something like that, man. I picked him in one of the final rounds of my fantasy draft, and he put some points up for me in week 1.
But dude, no kidding. Yeah, because, I mean, shoot, you're a rookie quarterback coming in here, and you're seeing that you got a Hall of Famer in your receiving core. Who are you going to throw it to?
Larry Legend. Larry Legend. That's
So,
him.
Yeah, 100%.
Pittsburgh got their ass beat against New England.
Jeez, they put up 3 points. They laid an egg, but they put up 3 points.
Here, let me impersonate a Pittsburgh Steelers fan real quick. Yeah, we're going to be fine without Le'Veon Bell and Antonio Brown. We got Ben. We got Juju. We're going to be good.
We don't need any of that. Hey, we got Mike Tomlin. Mike Tomlin's one of the greatest coaches.
Not the case, fellas. Sorry, not the case. Sorry about it.
Sorry.
I don't.
You guys are going to be, honestly, you're probably going to be bottom feeders in the AFC North. You're going to compete with Cincinnati for bottom feeders.
Did anybody win in the AFC North this weekend?
Baltimore kicked the crap out of the
Oh, that's
Dolphins.
right. That's right. Yeah, they made Lamar Jackson look good.
Yep.
That's right. I forgot
Yep.
about that.
And, yeah, Bengals,
I know.
They looked better than I thought they were going to, but still.
Agreed. San Francisco, who did they beat?
They beat Tampa.
That's right. Sorry, Brandon.
And Jameis Winston looked like Jameis Winston that we thought he was going to look like.
Yeah, I was a little apprehensive about that. I'm actually really excited to see what he does tomorrow night on Thursday night against Carolina.
He's going to lay an egg. It's going to happen.
I know, and Eric's saying that as an FSU fan. Obviously,
He's going to go. He's going to go to Carolina. No. He's going to Charlotte.
I know.
It'd be one thing if they're playing it at home. They played the 49ers at home, and they goose-egged it.
Yeah.
So now they're going to go to a raucous crowd on a short week, playing against Cam Newton and the Panthers. They got all those weapons out there,
Yeah.
including C-Mac. I'm going to go with,
Christian
yeah.
McCaffrey's pretty good,
That's
man.
going to be a Panthers win.
Yeah, if I'm picking one,
I'm surprised Panthers didn't win week
I
one,
don't
honestly.
know. I don't know. If I got to make a pick for Thursday night, I don't even know if I can confidently pick Carolina.
I can. I'll confidently pick
He's
Carolina.
doing it. I'm
do it.
somewhere in between. I'll get back with you.
I'll get back. How many episodes are we doing this week?
Yeah. I don't know. I'll send a tweet out or something.
Tweeters.
I'll get back with you because I don't know. I feel like both of those teams are in a very similar place. And I know we both picked Carolina to beat the Jags this year, and I just think that's one of those things where you're going to take a loss at some week to some team that doesn't deserve to beat you. And in 2017, that was San Francisco. Like, we took a loss to that team that didn't deserve to beat us.
No, there was no reason that we should have lost to that team.
No, we
being
shouldn't.
in the position that they were in.
Yeah, we never should have, and that just seemed like one of those games. But Tampa, Carolina, it just seems like they are on the same. They're in the same stratosphere as far as level of competition, and I don't expect either one of them to compete.
Well, in the
I
NFC,
love Bruce Arians.
Dude, the NFC South is very similar to the AFC South. You don't know what is actually going to happen this season.
Yeah.
And that's the scary part because you've got just wildly inconsistent teams. The Saints, you know, are going to be good year after year. That's a given.
Yeah.
But beyond that, okay, you got Tampa. You have no idea what's going to happen. Bruce Arians is a great coach. Everyone respects Bruce Arians as a coach. And he chose to
Guy's
go
amazing.
there over Cleveland. That probably says something there.
Originally, he said that he would only come back for Cleveland, and then Tampa got in there and was like, "Hey, man, how you doing?" And then he came back for the Bucs.
That says something.
Yeah, I mean, I'm down for it.
And then you've got Atlanta, who everyone said was everyone's dark horse to win the division.
Psych.
And Matt Ryan looked like an average quarterback.
Yeah, he misses Kyle Shanahan. I think he sent him a Christmas card.
100%.
Yeah,
100%. Send him a fruit basket. Edible arrangements. Nom, 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 nom. And then you got the Carolina Panthers. And again, Cam Newton, one of those guys that just looks very average sometimes. And there are weeks that I feel like he's more focused on what his post-game outfit is going to be as opposed to how he's actually going to play on the field.
Dude, he does not shop in the men's department. That's all I can tell
he
you.
goes to Steinmart and just picks off whatever the hell he sees on the fucking clearance rack. I'm surprised it didn't fall over.
I'm glad it did.
I know, me too. Jeez. Poor Baxter would have lost his head.
Steinmart, man. Jeez Louise. That's not a good thing.
No. Golly. But... And that's basically what the NFC South is. Like, you just don't know. Like, seriously, we'll have to wait and see. We'll see what happens here.
We will.
So I think we finally hit the point where we just lost our minds, and poor Cade is just getting to the point where he just needs to jump in the pool.
No, my guy, listen, man. It's all about that. Hey.
Any final thoughts before we let the people go?
I'm looking forward to the game this week. I think there's a lot to talk about, and I think there's a lot to be seen. I hope that our optimism will be rewarded. I really do.
I
think that
I still think this is a playoff team, man.
I do too. I think we've been given reason for optimism.
Yes.
That's where I'm at right now.
Yes.
And I think that barring something catastrophic, that I think will be okay. I think the defense is going to rebound. If they don't rebound this week, I don't expect them to ever rebound is what's going to happen. Is basically what I'm trying to tell you. They got to focus. They have to be more disciplined. They have to be able to keep their thoughts together, and they need to quit doing stupid shit is basically the moral of the story as far as success goes on that side of the football. I'm excited for it. I think that the Jags and the Texans is going to be a good game. If they can take it down to the wire and play them like New Orleans played them, I'll be thrilled. I think we match up actually relatively good against the Texans as far as like positional battles go. I'm looking forward to it. I hope AJ has a better week. I hope Jalen has a better week. I just need the safeties to play somewhat average is about where I'm at because last week they were far below that. Gardner, go out there and ball, brother. Hey,
yeah, man.
Uncle Rico.
Uncle Rico.
Life's a garden. Dig it, bro.
Yes.
That's what Joe Dirt
look,
would
this
say.
man quoted Remember the Titans on his friggin' Instagram, man. Like, he's already a legend in my book.
He really did.
But, no, I'm 100% with you. I think we got a good matchup this week. I'm not entirely optimistic about this Texans defense. I think it is a better unit than Kansas City, but I think that we have a good opportunity here for a victory. And honestly, I said that we'll take the L, but I would be extremely pleased if we came out with a win, or again, at least play them close like we did with Kansas City, because Houston, again, is not a team to really shake a stick at.
They're a good football
They're
team.
a good football team.
They're a good football team.
Show up on Sunday.
I agree. And you know what? Before we go, I think we should just take a little sip.
Oh, yes. Take a little sip there.
So we're going to take a little sip. We're going to throw you out the final Jags and Jack Duval. And we're going to move on, and we'll get back with you next week, and we'll talk about it, and we'll hope for the best. And if there's an opportunity to do so, which we're going to plan on doing, Sunday prior or Sunday after the game, we'll give you a quick hit. And
we're also going to plan on doing this type of stuff. We're also going to plan on doing an episode every Wednesday.
Tuesday or Wednesday. It's
Tuesday or Wednesday just kind of tends to work a little bit better with our schedule, so we're going to definitely try and set that up so that we've got more consistent episodes for you guys. By the way, sipping on some Uncle Nearest here. Uncle Nearest was the slave that originally taught Jack Daniels how to make Tennessee whiskey. So they actually started developing their own version of it. It is a very smooth, very strong, 100 proof
it's very good.
set of Tennessee whiskey. So cheers to you guys.
Cheers.
Hey, the second cheers, we forgot to mention this, but September 11th, 2001,
Absolutely.
A day that will live in infamy. And, hats off to those 3,000 lives that were lost on that day. Our country has never been the same since then. So, seriously, God bless America. God bless those souls that were lost that day. And we take a drink to you. So, cheers.
Drink to you. Cheers. And a cheers to that, man.
And on that note, we will bid you guys adieu. Thank you again for choosing Jags and Jacks, staying tuned to us despite everything going on with our schedules and whatnot. But we certainly enjoy having you guys around, and we love doing this program.
We do our best to make it happen.
Absolutely. So stay tuned with us. Eric Vincent, Cade Stevens. Be sure to follow Cade Stevens 11. Elixir, that's ELYK. No, shoot. Yeah, ELYKCIRE. It's my first and middle name spelled backwards. Eric Kyle spelled backwards, so there's that. Also, give Jags and Jack a follow. Be sure to follow us on Facebook as well. And be sure to follow our YouTube channel where we will post this video. So again, until next week, love you guys. Go Jags.
Duval! And if you don't like it, we don't care.
Suck it.